What is going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you. It is now Wednesday. It is 9:30. It is time for a News 6 weather live at 9:30, where we talk all things weather. We hang out. We talk. We have the conversation. That's what makes us different here. And of course, we talk about how the weather is going to impact our daily lives and get into it as much as we want to because we have the time to do it. We are coming at you live tonight on News 6 Plus and on the News 6 YouTube page this evening. And we have a kind of rare November Arctic blast coming down the pipeline. That's going to set to arrive next week. So we're going to talk a lot about that. I have much more of the data and much more of the forecast numbers for you to go area-wide and statewide to talk about the onset, the arrival of the first 30s of the season. And then tropically speaking, it's funny because Melissa and I were just talking about this in the chat on YouTube just before the show. She had mentioned that a page on Facebook mentioned about a Gulf Coast threat, tropically speaking. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And we are going to get into that. I'm going to show you some of the things on what's showing it, why it's showing it, and why everybody on here needs to kind of take note and hold the receipts for next hurricane season. There are some local meteorologists in the Central Florida market that are doing it. And there are the crazy people that have no idea what they're talking about on social media that are doing it. And you can tell, I want you guys to kind of weed out the bad apples as we get into next hurricane season, because it wasn't the season that stressed me out this year. It was dealing with all of the misinformation. I'm happy to do it. I love, as we always call here when we talk at 9:30, taking out the trash. It's my favorite pastime to bring you guys the facts and the truth and the science and meteorology behind some things. But we're going to get into this a little bit further coming up in about, 15 minutes or so. Boy, I said I was going to hold that rant until December 1st, but it happened already again. This cold front is really going to help us out. Okay, before we get into some of the weather stuff, really awesome stuff. You guys have been great sending in your pictures to clickorlando.com or on the free News 6 weather app of the supermoon. I'm going to show you the pictures that came in last night, and boy, we have a bunch of fresh pictures tonight that just came through. Then I'm going to upload those and get those ready to show at News 6 at 11 if you're in the Central Florida area. Tonight, of course, is the secondary night of the full beaver moon. It was technically full at like 8 o'clock this morning, but it is full enough in my book. It is bright out there. So again, if you happen to get a photo, snap it, send it to clickorlando.com/pins, or on the free News 6 weather app, there's an area to do that. That QR code will take you to clickorlando.com/pins. That's our like News 6 Instagram kind of stuff. It's a really cool community. We have a lot of weather photos on there, and we have the conversation. Again, that's what we are all about here at News 6, the community, the conversation, and just kind of hanging out together. Ocklawaha, this came in last night. The very bright supermoon will take you further to the south. This from Herthey P69 in northeast Orlando, the Winter Park area. You can see the bright supermoon there over the building. Really cool shot there. You can see the downtown skyline in the background. Chrissy 68 in Deltona Lakes. Just so bright out there. And again, I picked another beach shot. This is in Neptune Beach around Jacksonville. There are no lights here. That is just how bright the moon is again tonight. If you've been outside, you know what I'm talking about. And then I showed this one, News 6 at 11 last night, Motley from Ormond Beach, the zoomed-in shot there of the supermoon. Really, really cool stuff when it comes to the supermoon. We'll have one more, and that arrives in early December. Speaking of cool stuff, get ready. Get ready. I don't know if we're going to be okay come next Tuesday morning. We're warming up over the next couple of days through the weekend. But look at what's coming. It's just like a giant like blob of blue and purple. What we're looking at here is the temperature anomaly. So the brighter the blue and the darker the orange, the darker the purple represents the colder it is relative to normal. So the numbers that pop up on your screen, we're going to take our handy dandy dabber and do some inspecting here of the model forecast. But so when you see the numbers, that's not the temperature. If this was the temperature, we'd be in real trouble. But what this is going to be the temperature anomaly. So we're going to grab the handy dandy dabber and we're going to go toward Atlanta. And anywhere in that purple color, 15 to 25 degrees below average. For perspective, and you're not going to have to do the math because I'm going to show you what the expected temperatures are going to be for next Tuesday here in Central Florida. But our average temperatures in Central Florida are 60 degrees. So minus 15, 20 or so, that puts us in the 40s or 30s. Check this out. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so what I'm showing you here is this is not our forecast. I think this may be a touch too aggressive. This is the model forecast. However, this is not just one single model. This is what's called the national blend of models. So what happens is it kind of averages out. So it has the warmest solution averaged out with some of the colder solutions, and it helps, again, to when it's averaged out, the extremes aren't as extreme. When you see the average this cold, you know it's going to be cold and the confidence is super, super high. So we're talking right now, we have mid-40s forecast for Orlando. We do have mid to upper 30s forecast for Marion County, interior Flagler, interior Volusia, Denellen, Sumter County, Lake County. I mean, we could be talking about a decent shot for frost across the northern and interior side of Central Florida, maybe as far south as Ocala and Denellen in the outlying areas. That's still something we're trying to fine tune until we see how the core of the cold really settles in. But just really good stuff there. If you like it cold and crisp, this has been a very, very awesome start to the season. I don't particularly think this is going to be something that lasts all that long. I mean, in terms of it being like a really cold winter, I do think these cold fronts will be frequent. But I think overall, we are going to have a warmer winter and a drier winter. So come the spring, we're likely going to be talking about a drought. This is the state view. I wanted to show this for our friends that are tuning in from the Panhandle. I know we have a lot of people from South Florida that tune in, North Florida. So we always talk about the entire state of Florida when we are on the show tonight. And there we go in the upper, in the low to mid 30s. We're talking Tallahassee near the freezing mark. 37 in Jacksonville, 36 in Pensacola. These are the wind chills. It's going to be a little breezy on Tuesday morning. We're talking 20s in Tally. 36 in Orlando. That's what the wind factored in. 42 in Fort Myers. This is iguana falling out of the tree weather. And it's crazy to get it in November. Some people may set records. It might be record cold for some. I think in Orlando, we're going to, in Central Florida area, will be a few degrees above record territory. But nonetheless, it is going to be really, really cold on Tuesday and really cold on Wednesday. And then I think we finally start to pull out of that as we get into the following weekend. It's crazy. It's wild. All righty, guys. I have to get my first break in coming up in just about 3 minutes. We're going to take a look at the tropics. Normally, I would have put this to bed already and not talked about it because there's nothing going on. Okay, I do not want to talk about the tropics. I don't. I am in full, like, all right, it's fall, it's the off season, it is time to chill in more ways in one. This chill. But here we are talking about it because I've seen some pretty egregious things. And I'm going to touch on that in about 3 minutes. I'll see you in a second, guys. What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you. Real quick, we had a question about Port St. Lucie if 47 was going to be the number on Tuesday. It could be. You're a little closer to the coast, so it might influence that number. Here's what we're expecting on Tuesday morning. It's going to be chilly in Port St. Lucie. Whether it might be 47, it might be 49, it might stay in the low 50s, but it is going to be cold. Okay. So I want to start off with this as we enter the tropical portion of the chat. And I'll probably end up going on a rant, so my apologies. I want to show you the official outlook from the Hurricane Center. No new development expected over the next 7 days, okay? I want to show you the Climate Prediction Center. They're responsible for the long range from the federal government. No new development expected over the next 3 weeks. November 12th to November 25th. Nothing. A whole lot of nothing right there. However, if you were to frequent YouTube and social media, you might think otherwise because the GFS, the Global Forecast System, the American model, is added again with a phantom storm in the Gulf. It's just not going to happen. Now is the time where I am going to show my work and we're going to go through it. So the GFS ensembles, okay, different initial conditions put in. There they are. They're lighting up. Okay. It's the GFS. It has done terribly this season. So there's a lot of L's down there. There may be a little bit of action down in the Western Caribbean, according to the GFS. Let's look at the Euro ensembles. There's a few members out of the 51 that show something kind of very low and buried into Central America. This goes, by the way, through November 15th. Now, we're going to look at the best performing model of the season. That's the Google AI. I'm going to sit back and I'll wait. Here's a little message going into next year. If you see the GFS or any model posted by itself without context, the person posting it likely either A, doesn't know what they're doing, or B, and this is worse, knows what they're doing, and they know that it's going to blow up and they're going to get ad revenue from all of the clicks and the views and the shares that it does, because that's what sells. You're never going to find that here. We talked about this before. You're going to hear this when I go on my rant to end the season on December 1st on the show. We're going to do the recap and all that stuff. And then you're going to hear it again on June 1st. Gosh, I don't even think about June 1st next year. As I do my disclaimer to this is what you need to watch out for. It's crazy. It's over. It's over. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. But man, with these cold fronts, nothing's coming north. That's for sure. That is for sure. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys. Just wanted to show you that again, until the Euro would light up, until the AI, Google AI model lights up, it's Christmas time as far as I'm concerned. All right, I got to take another break, guys. I'll see you in just about 3 minutes. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. No, I appreciate the kind words in the chat. But no, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for making the show and for what we do here at News 6 Matter. We appreciate you a ton. So thank you very, very much for being here and hanging out with me on a nightly basis. I cannot wait until we're not talking about hurricane season anymore. And the countdown is on 25 days. 25 days until it is officially over for the 2025 hurricane season. Can't come soon enough. And all that stuff. It's all about the chill. That's what I am focused on. It is. Berlinda says, no, please, no cold. Unfortunately, it's going to get pretty chilly. If you missed it before, this is what we're forecasting. This is the model forecast. Our forecast is not going to be far off from this, but it's going to be quite chilly. I don't know why you're apologizing, Melissa. No, this was that was a topic before you even brought it up. I've seen it out there. Believe me, I see it. I am I see everything. And I don't like it. The GFS will probably be better for winter storms. There's something going on with its physics about tropical stuff. It's going to be better with winter storms for sure. It should be anyway. There's just something going on with that stuff before. Mimi Love, good luck. Sorry, I've been missing some of your comments. I've been sorry about that. No, I love it. I love that you speak your mind. So please, I love when you're in the chat because it makes we got to go after these people, and it's because it's just it's taking the science and it's taking the meteorology out of it. That's what I'm passionate about is getting in there and forecasting that stuff. And more often than not, I'm spending time just seeing this garbage online and stuff that's never going to happen. And we're talking about that more than the science. But I want to make sure that the people that actually believe that that's going to happen knows that it's not going to happen. So it's been crazy, and it's been fun hearing your experiences, Mimi Love Good Law, about you getting blocked by some of those other people when you've called them out, and rightfully so, for trying to spread that stuff on the internet. Alrighty, guys, that about does it for the show tonight. I'm with you. It's terrible. Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to go a little more in depth with the cold. I have brand new photos. You guys have been awesome with the News 6 weather app or pin it in general, whether it's been on clickorlando.com/pins or the News 6 weather app, submitting your photos. Fantastic photos of the supermoon tonight. I cannot wait to show you that. That's coming up at 10. We're going to go a little more in depth with the arrival of this cold as well. Can't wait to see you guys in a few minutes at 10. Of course, on the news side of things, on the traditional TV side of things, on News 6 at 11 o'clock as well. And then right back here in the chair tomorrow, 9:30. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my rant. I'm going to try to keep my rants to a minimum when it comes to the hurricane season, because I've got the grand finale coming on December 1st. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night.